and we'll begin with task 2, which is adding the columns and beams. So since we haven't calculated the loading on the beams and columns, we're just going to use the default beams and columns when we select it. So in this case, it's a 10 by 49. And make sure that it's not at depth, and we want it at height, and we want it up to the roof and at the grids, and we'll select all that, finish. And then we don't need the columns on the grid line B1, so we could delete those. And go to the roof, make sure it's all there. We're good. And we also don't need these. So going back to the level 2, now we're going to add the beams. And for the beams, we'll use structural beam. And again, we'll use the default beam for now, but we will, after we calculate it, we'll come back and change those. And we want it on the grids. And if you remember that detail, the beams going east-west is 7.5 inches below the finished floor. So selecting the grids going east-west and then finish. Oh, cancel. Forgot to set the height first. And that was negative 7.5 inches. So it's a Z offset. And place it grids. We want the beams going north-south, so we will do beam, use default, and that is only minus 5 inches. And on the grids, and we select the grids. And then we need one more beam that's coming across on the grid line here at B1, and this should be negative 7.5 inches again. Draw that in. So that completes our, oh, now we'll go up to the roof, and we'll repeat that. Select beam, negative 7.5, and that's for the east-west. Select on grid, finish. And then we want the north-south beams to be minus 5 inches for the Z offset. On grids, select grids, finish. And since we're not going to have the opening here, we don't need the additional beam across the middle in B1.